Let's go, October 6th. Let's go Friday.
Hey.
It's Island Tea. Let's go.
Is it? Is it Friday, Jamster?
Yeah.
You had to think about that.
No.
Like for a second there, you were
for
like...
a second I was like, why is he asking me that?
Oh, because I was
Did I
like...
make a mistake?
All good times.
I don't think that ever happened to me, no.
I
I never...
know.
Sometimes I get the day wrong, but thank God it's never happened on the air. You
Has
know
it
that happened.
Has it ever happened when it's a Friday though? For some reason, I don't feel people get Fridays wrong. Do they?
Wait, if it's a holiday,
Yeah.
like Good Friday. But Good Friday will seem like a Sunday.
But if you know it's Good Friday, then it's in the name already, Good Friday.
No,
So
but
do you remember?
But
do you
might
forget?
not. No, you're just thinking about the experiential part of it. Like Friday, it's Good Friday. It's saltfish and dumpling.
You really think so? So, Jamster, you don't have conversation. Tomorrow
kinda,
is Good Friday.
It's languid like a Sunday. So then when the Sunday comes on, wait, wasn't yesterday Sunday?
You may confuse with Saturday, but you might not confuse the Good Friday because it's
I think Saturday is the one you probably can't confuse. Well, if it's a holiday again.
Because I'm thinking if it's a Good Friday, then everyone knows, well, tomorrow's Good Friday. You say it in the name already, so how can you forget? You get what I'm saying?
But you're not really thinking about the name necessarily while you're in it, while you're experiencing the day. I don't think you're really thinking, oh, it's good. No, it's not Sunday, it's Good Friday. And around Christmas too, because like if let's say okay, let's say Christmas Eve falls on a Sunday.
Yeah. You don't say Christmas Sunday.
No, but I mean,
but you said Good Friday.
No, but
so
what I mean, you can get you can get confused. Or like if Juve falls on, if Boxing Day falls on a Sunday, then you could.
I know that you can get confused.
I shouldn't say a Sunday.
But what I'm saying, how could you not remember that Good Friday is a Friday?
Because you're not thinking about the name per se while you're experiencing the day. You'll think about it that one. You say, "Oh, it's Good Friday," but you're not really thinking, "Oh, it's Good Friday." I mean, come on, everybody. Somebody call me because I am dying on this hill.
I think you're losing this battle.
No, I am dying on this hill. I am convinced a lot of people feel like some of those days feel like a Sunday.
Yeah, no,
any day.
I'm not disputing the feeling, but for the Good Friday one, I think it's all within a name. That you can say like today is Good Friday and forget that today is Friday.
Especially when you go to church, that makes it worse. Maybe I shouldn't say worse. I should say.
You're strengthening my point.
What? No, because if you go church, yeah, but still.
Well, if you go church, they keep saying, "Remember today is Good Friday," so it's in your ears again.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Good
so
morning, folks.
I want to share this very short quote with the persons who are listening. It's a quote from Drew Barrymore, and she says, and I quote, "Life is very interesting. In the end, some of our greatest pains become our greatest strengths." End of quote. Life, quote begins again. I'm going to repeat. Life is very interesting. In the end, some of our greatest pains become our greatest strengths. Have you ever considered that, Jamster?
Wait, do you know that it's interesting that you use a Drew Barrymore quote. You know about the writers' strike and so in the US.
No, I haven't.
Like
heard about
screenwriters and for
when
shows.
did that happen?
It's been ongoing for about maybe 2 months maybe.
Okay.
I think they got something worked out now, but all of the writers on her show declined to go back to her show. I didn't read the story, but I saw the headlines. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
You probably like.
So I have to go and look that up. And
so
see.
when I said the from Drew Barrymore, you pulled that thought.
I said, You sure she didn't say that after that happened? You know who Drew Barrymore is, right?
Of course, I know.
All right.
You remember that movie she was in that it keeps going over again, like she forgets.
50 First Dates.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know her for other movies, but that
Yeah,
one stands
that
out
one
to
sticks
me.
with you.
For me,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Who is a way better actor than people give him credit for. No, seriously, even when he does drama,
Yes.
he's a very naturalistic actor. Like he for a comedy guy, he is a very good dramatic actor. Seriously, because he does the everyman thing.
Yes.
He gets it, like he's really on point with that. So I'm always amazed when you have actors who are known as comedy actors, but then you see them do drama, and you're like, damn, it's like John Leguizamo, Robin Williams, and these guys really nailed it. Even Will Smith, because he started off as a poppy show in Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
So in some news, right? I was looking through, and well, I know locally we had the Prime Minister's roundtable discussion yesterday. I don't know if you got a chance.
I listened a bit of it, but
to listen to a bit. I mean, he touched things that I could remember because I tried to look at it now and again, in and out. Try to scroll and see what the essence was. He spoke about the 40th anniversary, the $1,000.
Yeah, I heard that bit
as a workers' bonus.
Yeah.
Indicating that it's not something that one could expect very often, but in the celebration and recognition of independence, he thought it best to give a $1,000.
I must say, I think he made a good argument with that, because the way he explained it, he said, well, it's our 40th anniversary. And I said, okay. Although, I personally would prefer if all that money, you could say it's a stimulus too. I mean, that's fine. But it's a stimulus and it helped. But nearly everyone I've spoken to said they would prefer if the money had been used on fixing some of the problems that we still have, the water problem. And with my caveat that a lot of us engage in a lot of magical thinking and we think things can happen overnight. So with the caveat that yes, you wish that money would go, but don't expect it to happen the day after. I mean, things like water drilling and getting desalination and all these things take time. I mean, you remember what Jomo was saying last week about when they're trying to get rental generators and the contractor they used to use, their due diligence takes a lot longer than they would like. So they had to go to plan B. When you order a generator, it takes months because you have to order it. They have to build it, and for all we know, they might even have to cast the iron parts and so on.
Yes.
Like get a steel plant. Okay, you need to cast up this stuff because we have a generator. So we have to understand that everything is not going to happen over there. And I'm not by any means
also
carrying water for them. Because half the time I'm rolling my eyes when these guys are talking.
He actually touched the water issue. I think it was a question came up about it too. But he did touch the water issue, indicating that he has provided tanks to persons in areas of the Kayan most in need. He credited the idea to Ashley Allers. He made a comparison. He made a comparison of the last administration giving out garbage bins, so he could give out. He could put out the water tanks.
But that bill seemed pretty high to me for just Cairn. I don't know if it's the whole of constituency 8, but still.
It seemed like constituency 8 because in videos I saw persons from who said that they're now, I think, up by the St. Peter's area. I saw videos, so it seemed like the constituency.
Okay.
It seemed like the constituency.
So it's going to be weird. So you realize how you have 2 and 8 adjacent to each other. So what happens? What happens when someone who is adjacent to someone in 2 and adjacent to someone in 8, and they see them get a thing, and they're not going to stop and think, oh, it's 2. They're thinking, I'm in Monkey Hill, I'm in St. Peter's.
Yeah,
what happens with
those boundaries are really something else when you think about it. Interesting thought.
But also, I think that bill seems awful high for just one constituency. I've always thought. I remember one time somebody told me that Antiguans used to come down here to buy plastics from Kassab on Liverpool Road.
Yes,
because it was much cheaper here than it was in Antigua. So when I heard that,
Mm-hmm.
when I heard that figure, but I said, even when we're paying taxes on these things, okay, they might be expensive. I get it, but if the
Yes.
government is bringing them in, the government is not going to charge itself duty and VAT and all this other stuff. So where's all this money going? Just a question, a fair question,
Mm-hmm.
and might not it be better if you just gave the whole country water tanks? You find out who has. You don't bother with them. You just give them to rather than just one constituency. I don't know.
Well, I guess what persons would say that is the constituency that has been greatly or most
Well, yeah,
affected
yeah,
by the
yeah.
water. So I think
Yeah.
that would be the argument. Because
Yeah.
I thought about it.
And then you don't want to give them the excuse of if they're giving to the whole country, then all of a sudden the bill becomes $2 billion,
Yeah.
and you're wondering where is that $2 billion going? Plastic tubs to put water in.
Because I did think about it. You give it to one constituency, but I said to myself, these are the persons who have been greatly affected. And these are the persons who have been, complaining and so want some relief. So I understand. Caller, you're live on Island T.
Yes, good morning, guys.
Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning.
Yes. The concerning the time issue, I know what you said, Jamster, but bearing past experience, it has always been that, well, these things take time. I'm sure you remember the ex-prime minister intoning the same thing in previous previous times.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't want to get bogged down in that same excuse that these things take time. Okay, I think the Prime Minister did it yesterday too in looking at the rollout of the integrity in public life. That's questionable. I think some things, yes, I know, take a lot of time.
You remember I
But other
said.
things-
You remember I said I'm with you, but I'm just to put a point to that. You remember how I said half the time I'm rolling my eyes, so I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. So we should not accept that as an excuse, to be quite honest. With the water thing, for instance, I think I heard something about, they had to get special pipes or something like that. If you drill in for water, expecting to find water, isn't it reasonable to expect that you would do the advanced work and make sure if you did find water, bearing in mind it's an emergency, that you have these things on site ready? That's one. Secondly, with the tanks, actually, that idea was mooted even before the government changed. I recall on talk shows. It's just that they weren't listened to, right? And I think for some reason people were, or the powers that be, were convinced that the problem was not storage, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was sourcing. Well, obviously, now that we've come to this emergency where people are without water for days, they had to take a second look. I don't know, you saw any of the tanks?
I saw.
They do have covers, don't they?
Yeah, I saw the tanks, not with my, when I said not physically, like face to face, I saw it on videos, persons, and pictures, but I haven't seen it, like, you know what I mean?
I saw some
Yes.
pictures as well.
Yes.
I didn't see covers. I suppose they would have covers. Otherwise, there are going to be problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Logic says that in terms of shipping and storage, the actual containers and the covers would be separate, same packaging, but not together, not a unitary
Okay.
pair.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope they are, because I think the idea that was mooted before was the ability for these tanks to be connected to the water supply, and so it could become kind of seamless in terms of usage. But I guess we'll see eventually.
Or you mean with
what-
like the threaded connections and so on for
Right,
yeah.
into the water supply with the appropriate, with stopcocks, whether it's gravity fed or pump fed and those kinds of things. But pretty much that you won't feel it if water is disconnected, But that's a whole other issue. With regard, you said that it seems like a lot of money for tanks. I don't know if you know for sure what the amount spent on them was, but
That's precisely my
I
point.
would expect that
Well, we don't
procurement. Huh?
Precisely my point. We don't know. It's not like they're gonna give us an itemized, breakdown.
No. If it's a project, it's a project, and lot of millions were called, right? You're not going to get itemized stuff, but certainly, what I would hope has happened, is that proper procurement was done, and that the country is getting the bang for its buck, right? I would assume that is so. Otherwise, that would not be a good thing for the government to just decide arbitrarily to do this contract like that. I honestly don't feel that.
Well, this is
it was
what
the
happens.
case.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you do reactionary lurching from crisis to crisis. This is what happens. A lot of things don't
Yeah.
get thought out properly.
Anything else, Mr. McMahon, that stood out for you at the press conference?
I guess it's a general thing. It's the propensity for politicians to waffle and have long drawn out explanations without some of the questions that were asked could have been answered in 2 or 3 or 4 liners. Okay?
Yeah.
Instead, you got long answers.
so
I
was doing
don't
it-
like
so
long
he-
answers because it sounds like you're fudging the issue.
So he was Tim Harris Jr. then.
Oh, yeah, okay, right. Harris was famous for that. Okay, a good test, right, is to go back to the questions asked, right, and then see if they were answered. Right? You might have long explanations and long whatever, but go back to the question asked. Ask yourself if they could have been answered yes, no, maybe, or those kinds of cryptic answers. And if the answer is yes, then that is what should happen. They should be answered straightforward. If you want to give additional explanation for your answers, fine. But it should be right out face there what the answer to whatever question was asked. It should be straightforward. You shouldn't have to be picking through the weeds to find the answers. That was my thinking. With regards to the 40th anniversary celebration, yes, it's 40 years. You want to put on something special, right? But it all comes down again to priorities. What are the priorities at this particular time that we find ourselves at this particular time with? And yes, of course, the government, it's the government, and they have a right to do things as they see fit. They're the ones who drive policy, okay? But I would have imagined that at some point there was discussion as to what's the best use to put with whatever funds are available. Has to be. It can't be just that somebody comes, it would be a great idea to give everybody $1,000 and then you just proceed to do it, right? You have to look. It's the whole country that has to be run. You have to look at what has to be done and the resources that are there to do it before you make decisions on this. So I'm not saying that it was a bad thing with the $1,000. Okay, sure, if you could afford it, fine. All right, but you know, you should always have in mind what are the priorities, and are we getting? Is this the best use of funds that we have available?
So,
right?
so
And remember, the last thing, remember that leadership and governing is about doing things right. Okay? Not a matter of just doing things, but doing things right and doing the right things. Okay? So you should never lose sight of that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you think they're gonna pay double salary?
Oh.
Well, yeah,
It wouldn't affect me,
that's
but-
the thing. Okay, and that's the other thing, eh? If they don't pay double salary, right? Bear in mind, it has been consistently been paid
Oh my
for the
God!
past, what, 5, 6 years, whatever it is,
Yes.
right? How you think that's going to go down? that's the whole point. It's almost as if they're forced into that box of having to deliver, and come what may, might have to borrow to do it or whatever, or take funds, divert funds from some other project that should have been done to do it, but better do it because people are expecting it, that kind of thing. Otherwise, it would be interesting to hear the explanations as to why not a double salary.
Yes.
You know, yeah, that's what happens when we put ourselves in these kinds of boxes and we don't think things through to years ahead as opposed to the now. But we'll see. Why the jump store? You're in anticipation or something?
Oh, he was.
No, I'm just being I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, he's not. He wouldn't benefit from that.
I won't benefit,
Yeah,
no.
he wouldn't
Well,
benefit.
indirectly, my wife, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, right, because you said we.
Oh,
right?
oh.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But,
I'm not-
I'm sure that's on everybody's mind right now,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But no,
Okay.
I mean, I'm not what's the word? I try not to be selfish. I always try to think of the greater good. And even if,
Yeah,
if
not
yeah.
you alone.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in government and leading, you got to think about the
Exactly.
greater good, and
even if it affects you adversely, because
but
I'm
at
like,
the same time,
yes,
politicians and politics would be politicians and politics, and you can bet your life these things. Some of these decisions are made with the politics in mind.
yes,
Yep, no question about it.
yes, rather than
Whether fortunately or unfortunately, that's how it is.
rather than the good governance imperative. That's a
So,
problem.
guys, also yesterday, right?
Mhm.
While I was walking on the road, taxi driver came up to me, and the taxi driver was saying that it's really a tough time for taxi men, as in September and also October, they would have had an estimation of I think about 70 calls, and those calls no longer came, and so these are the things that are happening. I then made investigation and I realized that there was an address made by the minister that was posted on September 28th in relation to the cruise ship and the cruise arrival. I then realized, doing my own investigation, that there was, during the last budget, and this is why I said we have to be very careful, especially, because we don't know the realities and what the future would hold. Excerpts of the budget would have indicated, a blooming tourism industry in 2023 with so much booths and cars and everything, and then you realize that an address is being made, and some would say with outside the minister's control in terms of the port, the cars and stuff like that. But it makes us we must be aware that, you know, when we are, when government or officials are giving, making, what I want to say, if you're going, like the future, we don't know the future, and so we have to be very careful in what we say is going to be the expectation. It's only an expectation, but we have to realize that, you know, our expectations may not be the reality in the future. So, and again, it comes down to a lot of things that I've been seeing. For example, the housing revolution that was supposed to be done, saying 600 homes starting this year and 600 homes every year until the, you know, 2027, which will be about 2,400 homes. Since that, we've seen that there has been some readjustments. The homes were supposed to be built, I think either, I can't remember now, I think it was June, I may be mistaken, but I think it was June, maybe July, I can't remember, because the date changed so many times.
You mean they were supposed to start?
Yeah, they start in the house.
Okay.
Then you realize designs were taken back after persons would have made some,
and we still haven't heard anything about mixed housing options, meaning like
we haven't heard mixed housing options.
High rise.
There was I think a conference where it was with East Coast in September, where there was, you know, I think a groundbreaking ceremony or something to that effect. But again, it's going down to, I don't know if a date had been given at that, as to when. Maybe persons are out there and they have the information. Maybe a date might have been given as to when the construction would go. But I'm saying this is October now, almost in a year. So I've become very hesitant to grab a lot of, you know, when the government says these are going to be a lot of goodies and a lot of good things, and I'm waiting to see them happen. Based on my experience, I'm waiting to see them happen. And so I'm just saying, you know, as government officials, and so I know you a lot of excitement in terms of the expectation, but we as the citizens have to be cautious that these are just expectations, and that there's so many things that could happen before that may change them.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You don't want to play the clip?
Yeah, let's play the clip and hear.
Okay, so this is Marsha Henderson, Minister of Tourism. Okay, here we go.
Keeping with our goal to attract high-value visitors who contribute significantly to the local economy through shopping, dining, and excursions. Similar to last season, we will see fewer calls from Carnival Cruise Lines due to the removal of a number of ships from its fleet, including Carnival Fascination. We will continue to experience the effects of the loss of San Juan as a home port. This has resulted in the shortening of cruise itineraries, as cruise lines are now taking a longer route to the Eastern Caribbean due to home porting out of Florida. This fact is coupled with one of the most critical challenges we are facing in the industry today: the introduction of regulations to protect the environment through the limitation of carbon emissions from cruise lines has become a major concern for industry partners. We are all aware that it is our responsibility to protect our environment. We support all efforts geared towards climate adaptation and climate mitigation. One of the efforts being undertaken by cruise liners to protect our environment is the concept of slow steaming, whereby cruise lines are required to reduce vessel speed to conserve fuel and reduce gas emissions. Being mindful of this concept and the voyage from Florida to the destination in the Eastern Caribbean, cruise liners now experience extended itineraries. We, as a destination, will continue to receive calls from Carnival nonetheless, and all other cruise lines that have previously graced our shores. For the upcoming season, we are poised to welcome a total of 342 calls, bringing a capacity of 857,488 passengers to our shores. While we continue to look at the arrival numbers, I must encourage us to do all that we can to increase visitor spend on the island. Despite the uncontrollable changes in the cruise sector, our airlift expansions continue to be an on an upward trajectory. We will, for the first time, welcome JetBlue to our shores with its thrice weekly flights, beginning Thursday, 2nd November 2023. United Airlines has expanded its service with an extension up to August.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yes. So, as indicated, it seems as though there is reason for the as given for the decrease in calls during that time, the Sangwang, and I don't. One person had.
Oh yeah.
indicated-
Did you hear a reason why the I'm assuming that's the FCCA why they.
I think she made mention of the port of Sangwang not being a stop.
No, but what I wonder why did they
They do that.
yeah.
No, I don't know. But the thing about it, seem like a lot of the taxi drivers are a bit disappointed. But again, I don't know. I always say persons seem afraid or maybe not concerned about raising the issues. They would come to you and they would say this and say that.
True.
And then you seem like the only voice that is echoing what many persons are saying or afraid to say.
Well, I heard the word thin skin being mentioned sometime this week, so that might have something to do with it. Knowing how, how some of these politicians will react when they're criticized. So.
Yeah, so that is one. So they seem. I mean, if there's any person, any taxi driver who's out there, you would have more information than we would have. You could actually weigh in. We have a call.
Island T.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I don't want to change your dynamic and the topic of which one
No problem.
at this moment. But I think that in terms of speaking about the water tanks, I don't think the whole story was told.
Okay. Well, we did talk about that topic. Go ahead.
The thing concerning the water tanks, it appears to me that they're not just putting a tank in your yard and leave you without it being set up. What I understand, each tank comes with a pump and the fittings, and they are going to themselves return to the place where they rest the tank and install it. And while they install the tank, it will be under pump pressure. That is to my understanding. And so, if every tank comes with a pump, that's an additional cost other than having a plastic tank. It appears to me like the tanks are not only plastic, mainly plastic, but they are more like fiberglass to me. And so they have some durability, and having water in them should give them sustenance of longevity. That is my belief.
That's fair.
On the other hand, it appears as if that every household will be getting a tank, and I'm not sure if they're going to find a way to hook it up so that it could bypass the tank at some time or another, whereas you will not have to use electricity. But at the same time, it should be in some protected area that high wind shouldn't be able to push it hard enough for it to topple. A tree wouldn't fall on it and damage it. So some thoughts need to go into these things. But at the end of the day, the idea of doing something is better than doing nothing. And it has been said that justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done. And so this one, you'll have to put them a notch up and doing something, making an effort. The other thing, the tank have other capabilities in taking water from a roof, and you have the capability to take in water from the main line also.
Okay.
But it will take some management of the system, because you can have a full tank of water this minute, and another minute the tank could be empty, because if you have leakage in your toilet, dripping in your pipes, so you're going to take some management to make sure that you maintain what you have. Even though you're going to probably cost some more electricity than what you normally burn. But the thing is that if you have no electricity, how are you going to move the water? They probably might find a way to get the water from the tank without electricity. So they have a plan, I guess.
So when we assume a lot of things, we sometimes, like Jamster and you already said, we better wait and see. But it's a start to make sure that the people of Kayan will have water to do their utility and have a shower and flush the toilet and so on, which is a good start.
I think they're grateful.
It doesn't have to be good, be a good, eh?
Yeah, I think they're grateful for that. I see a lot of persons are grateful, and of course they would be, because they have now at least something that would assist them.
And you see,
something will assist. So even if the water breakdown or the water stop for a period of while, a time, your tank should be able to carry you through for a few days until they get back online.
Yeah.
But they must keep publishing notices to people and communicate to the people of which you are serving. Because if you don't communicate, people don't know what you're doing.
Thank you.
And so having me saying this, I should not have been saying this because the explanation should have been clear to everyone.
Shades of what I was about to say just now, Lorenzo. What I was going to say.
Project, and we have a cost and a value in it.
Tell us what it is. Yes, just tell us.
Tell the people
in detail.
And let the people work with you. You have to carry the people with you, because if you fail to carry the people with you, people will come to their own assumption, and by the time they finish with you, you are no good when you bring the truth. When the truth is heard, you're already being damaged by the false imitation that have been created by not bringing forward the information that is necessary. And as Mahan normally say, bring the information to the people. They're intelligent enough to judge. But it's a good idea, and it's good thinking. It's always good to have reserve. Even if you could get an extra tank, you could buy an extra tank if you feel like you don't have enough water. Buy it so you could have it in reserve, because you don't know when you're going to need it. You could get a generator if you want, whatever, if you could afford it. The last thing I will talk about is that the double salary, in my mind, I think that should go away. If you, I know I'm touching something a little bit touchy here, but if you look at the last one, what we had, the last $1,000, that to me is better served than giving double salary to civil servants. Civil servants are not the only people in this country that pay taxes and work. Well, they have a job, but lots of them don't work. They really don't work. They don't function. They're not function like they getting paid. And they only come quick and fast when they're getting ready to leave. And if you hear some of the stories that comes out of the offices of those civil service, I want to go downtown. Oh, man, nobody got asked to go downtown. If you want to go downtown, go. If you don't want to come back, it's okay. Remember, it's government you're working for. You know, the unprofessionalism and the leadership. And you know what? Maybe you should take the more junior staff and make them senior, because I'm sure they'll be able to hold the senior foot to the fire.
But you know what's funny? Because you know what's funny about that? I remember
they're not supervising.
I remember Timothy Harris had a plan to make the civil service performance based, and I really think that should have been one of the things that they should have. Well, for all we know, they were probably working on it still, because once again, I like deliberate planning, meaning you take your time and you, whatever you want to implement, you do your your due diligence, you do your research, you consult with you consult with people who know about that stuff before you roll it out. So that was one of the things he talked about, and I was really hoping that that's something that would have been rolled out, performance based.
And they're not wrong either. You will think that somebody working government for years will know so much things, but lots of time some of them just there to stamp something or to sign something, nothing else. They don't do cross training. So you say somebody work for government for 25 years and they leave that office and don't know anything. They are crippled, like they cannot do anything in the private sector and they're useless. The punctuality, the work ethics, everything is below standard. So they will not be easily an asset to the workforce in the private sector if it do exist for them, because they never do cross training. They only do one thing since they go in that office, and you make sure whoever in charge make sure that they stay there. Why is it? I don't know. Why is it that you have some brilliant policemen? They're not promoted, they're not given anything, but they're working, they're carrying out the duty. But some people make sure they keep them there. And these are the things that need to be looked at. We need to be more courteous
Hey,
more kind to our fellow men.
Lorenzo, come on now. You're being cruel with the civil service workers. Come on. They're experts at playing solitaire. Come on now, man. Come on. That's not nice.
Okay, all right. The export. But you know something?
Candy
People must
Crush.
always prepare for the eventuality and the unexpected. You prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. Not every day you'll get to do the job that you would like to do. But so prepare and train yourself to do something else. I never believe in luck. I say luck is preparation meets opportunity. Jamster, if they need somebody to fill another place somewhere because you have prepared yourself, you can step into that shoe because you have trained and you're ready to do it. But if you had not the training, if you have not made any preparation, you will not be able to step up there. I always be able to ready to put somebody over you because you are not ready.
Okay, we have another caller.
Yes.
Caller, go right ahead. Okay.
Caller.
Sorry about that, Lorenzo,
Okay.
but I was trying to take the call.
So it goes back to the point that the caller is making about engagement. It goes about conversation. It goes about dialogue. Go ahead, caller. Caller.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Azard.
Yes,
Good morning, Jamster.
Yes.
The previous comment, your issue at hand was with the tourism ministry.
Yes, the tourism.
I was not the taxi driver that you met, but I am a taxi driver, and it concerns me also. And so, may I weigh in on it?
Of course. I'm glad you called.
Yes. Two things from the statement, what the Minister, Marsha Henderson, said. She spoke about some figures. And the last figure she gave is it's below the 1 million threshold.
Yes, it is. I realized that. That stood out to me.
Yes. And the former Minister of Tourism, Mr. Grant, I think we had exceeded or was at the threshold of 1 million, if my recollection is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is like a dipstick, something that we will say, well, here is it. It's supposed to be an upward trajectory, but also she made mention of another figure within the 700,000, another figure, and she also made mention of one particular cruise line by name, the Carnival.
Yeah.
But there are other cruise lines, and we have not seen the larger Carnival ships that would grace our roadstead as yet. But we have seen the Royal Caribbean, the larger ones, the Wonders of the Seas, the Oasis, and so forth. And so if we were to really measure this by what ship and what capacity of a ship in terms of the numbers, and the taking away, someone told me that it was about 70, someone says 75. Less port of call. And so would we want to put into the equation those larger ships with the larger capacity that were able to suffice the growing industry in terms of, it's not just taxi drivers alone, the hoteliers and the businesses, the restaurants and so forth. They are expecting a piece of the pie like anyone else. And so that is the equation. We know that the Carnival did not call, or for whatever reason there was a loggerhead, and they probably had pulled out. And she did, Minister Henderson did say that the Carnival is going to come back. But we cannot just base the arrival of the cruise ships on just Carnival alone, even though it is regrettable if one cruise line pull out. But the larger ones that will come is the Royal Caribbean, and we did not have any qualms with them. Quite recently, we welcomed one the other day. And so they are the ones that really bring in the larger capacity of, one has a capacity of probably almost 3,000 and so forth. And so that is where the crux of the matter would lie, if I were to be honest with what I gleaned from the information, the statement by Minister Henderson. What are your takes on it?
My question was, a video was released, and look at the video, it seemed like it was released the 28th of September. Would she have had consultations with the taxi drivers previous to the video, or was that the first time that taxi drivers would have been made aware as well, when the general public is made aware that these cars are no longer coming?
I don't know, because we did have a meeting, the last one I attended over at the Marriott. We know the workshop that is ongoing. I think was the last one was held yesterday. I have attended that one, but prior to that, there was a meeting, a consultation as to what measures should be taken, and there was supposed to be some tweaking, which got a lot of pushback. But they went along and they implemented something as to the hours that the taxi stand would be open down at Port Dante. Even though we, the taxi drivers, had suggested other work, the length of the time. Because even though, yes, there are other businesses that would open, especially on the strong end. I don't deal with the weekend. On the strong end, like Friday and Saturday and maybe Sunday. Certain establishment would be still open beyond the hours that they decided to, curtail the taxi stand. Okay?
Yes.
And so, yes. So they have already, UDC had already put that law into place.
Okay.
Against what we have all suggested. So we see that here is it, they asked for consultation, and we came out and we gave our ideas. But lo and behold, our ideas don't seem like it holds any water, because they are doing what they're going to do regardless. It seems as if where they came and they decided, well, we're going to do this, but let's feel their heartbeat. Let's feel their pulse. But regardless, we're going to do it anyhow.
What is the general feeling from taxi drivers on the ground? How do they feel about the industry in which they work in now? What is the general feeling?
I am a freelance taxi driver. I am not a member of any of the associations, but I will work with them. But I can only speak for myself, because you're asking about 500 different ideologies of taxi individuals, So it would be best that you ask one of the president, the two president and the car president, that he will give you a better answer, knowing that he serves a different, wider body than you're asking me. I can only give you an answer what my opinion is.
Yeah. What is your opinion then?
Yes, my opinion is that from time to time, the dynamics of this industry, as we know, it is very fragile. We have just had a Philippe Despas, and we have not suffered the brunt of it, and we're thankful for that. But the dynamic of the industry, I position myself for building a foundation for my little business. Because all of us we have businesses. We have to go down to Inland Revenue and pay our business license and so forth. So I have positioned myself to get a grounding, to establish my little business. I was reluctant of doing that for quite some time. My daughter has encouraged me to go online and do this. I have a unique service that I provide. I don't talk about Columbus and all that, but be that as it may, it's a part of the industry. So I have a unique brand that I try to present and build on.
Okay, then. We're going to have to take a break, right? Because
the airlines that she spoke about coming in, we welcome that, and so forth. And so we welcome that. We are willing to work with, It is what it is, and we're willing to work with that. But the Ministry of Tourism, they have to listen to us. They definitely have to listen to us and stop teaching us like stepchild. It's something like President Ruto said that, when we go to these big meetings all over, the African Union members go and they put us in school buses like school children. we're not school children here in the tourism industry. We have a part to play in the as stakeholders, and we need to be treated as such. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you so much.
One of the things I wanted to mention before we go to the break is the fact that I don't know if you heard a news item about Caribbean Airlines investing in 12 more planes.
Oh.
And it's interesting because I remember when Liat started a debt spiral, which I'm all for, as you know. I was thinking at the time, I kind of did a thought experiment at the time. I said, well, to me, the smart thing to do now for Caribbean Airlines would be to try and take up the slack and maybe invest in planes. And I remember thinking this about maybe 8 to 10 months ago. And so when I heard that story, I said, oh, good. So I was on point with my thought because they said they're investing in 12 new airplanes. They're leasing 12 planes. So that means, and they mentioned Liat. They said since the exit of Liat, that was the word they used. They're experiencing increasing demand. So that's good. So that sounds good. And you know, BWA as it used to be called, they have a pretty good record.
Yes.
For safety as well. I mean, I know we like to tout the safety record of Liat and so on. The rest of their record, nothing really to to phone home about. But so I expect great things for airlift, at least for intra-Caribbean travel, and of course, you can travel to the mainland with Caribbean Airlines as well. So that was some good news, I thought. So I guess for Carnival and maybe music festival next year, we should see a difference in terms of airlift. So that's good. Let's take this quick call before we go to the break. Call up. Okay. I guess maybe the phone wants us to go on the break. So let's take the break and come back.
Yeah.
5 minutes after 9 o'clock.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
This is a public service announcement.
Brace yourselves for the ultimate shopping extravaganza that you've been waiting for. Get ready to be blown away because double cashback coupon season has officially landed at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Can you feel the excitement in the air? It's that magical time of year when Horsford's paves the way to your dreams by giving away millions in free groceries with every Flex Pay Higher purchase.
But wait, there's more to this phenomenal offer.
Hold on to your seats because this is your chance to win an entire year of free groceries through the exhilarating double cashback season, double cashback promotion. Wait, did I mention it's double cashback coupon season at Horsford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store? Don't delay, come in today before it's too late and snatch up your double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
And we're back on the A list with AZ.
Yes.
So, did you get that one?
Yeah, I got that one.
What? Let me.
I know they use A-list for a lot of things.
No, the rhythm of the song is called A list. The song by Pumpa. Come on.
Oh,
yeah, A list. Yeah, right.
Oh,
That's the name of the song, A list. Yeah.
Oh, really? I would never have thought A-list seems.
If you never end with that,
yeah. I mean, literally, Literally, I could get it, yeah, A-list, then with the A, but something else came to my mind when you say A-list.
You're thinking Azard.
No, I wasn't thinking.
Oh no,
like
okay.
I was thinking like A-list when you're on the when you're on the A-list, it don't seem like you're not on the B-list, you're on the A-list.
True.
True. But then when you said that song, I was like, oh.
Yeah, the A-list.
So
we have a caller again.
Okay, caller.
Caller,
yes,
go ahead.
Good morning again.
Hey,
I think we're finding out
yes.
that when we're a leader in something, it's extremely difficult to maintain that lead because everybody is out to get you. Huh?
Yes.
And I think the same thing applies to our tourism. It's a very competitive area.
Yes.
A very competitive market. And we noticed that the other islands, the competitors close by, are doing things. They are improving their ports of entry. Anguilla is the latest, unveiling a really good-looking terminal building. Those kinds of things. Those kinds of things. And I honestly was expecting that with every new tourism season, we'd have some new attraction, something to market the destination. In other words, every year, for instance, there are these conferences or shows, trade shows, and those kinds of things. It makes no sense going there every year, marketing the same thing, Brimstone Hill, Black Rock, After a while, those become old news. You want something, even the scenic railway. You need something new, right? And hopefully one every year. Whether it be like maybe a zip line to from Sofa Stone or some new attraction.
Yeah.
Okay. The Prime Minister yesterday mentioned the fact that I think it was Koi, the beach at Koi, has been eroded. Well, I hope that is followed up with some plan to get it back and building proper revetments and coastal protection devices to prevent it from happening, or certainly at least make sure it's not as bad. I looked at Frigate Bay after the high seas, actually the day during the high seas, and it looked like a disaster area, a Frigate Bay beach, that is. Okay? I mean, they did some work to improve the beach and to make sure that it's not eroded and so on. I haven't gone back since to see that if now that the cleanup is done, if it's back to where it was. But maybe they should take a second look at it and make sure that it is not as susceptible to wave action. Okay? Things like these, our waterfront looked like another disaster area at one point. Hopefully they've cleaned it up now. But things like these, at the advent of the new tourist season, these things have to be in top shape. And like I said, to keep ahead of the competitors, okay, it's not that you make 1 million. Everybody wants to make 1 million passengers. So everybody's going to be working towards that. So we should either be working towards making sure that we don't lose any ships at the very least, but even more come back, marketing new areas or whatever. Okay, but the point I'm making is you can't just sit down and say we have arrived.
I think we should be here. I remember when the new what's it called again? The Tourism Authority. When the new head came on, the Bahamian dude, when he came on, I remember thinking it would be nice to hear like a regular sort of PR program where we know exactly what the tourism authority, because I never understood why you need a tourism authority separate from a Ministry of Tourism.
Ministry of Tourism, yeah.
And it would be nice if we know what
that probably fits in with the figures I gave you yesterday. It's 38% of the workforce in government.
Yeah.
You're not doing this thing efficiently, but yeah.
Yeah, so I always wonder, and so it would be nice if we could know what kind of approaches they were using and what kind of pitches they were making to the target markets and so on. And there's nothing wrong with tourism, for example, having town hall meetings so that you can hear ideas from the general public about the inputs they can make, the creative inputs they can make into helping them.
That's a big part of tourism.
Yes,
you know.
helping them
I well remember
craft the outreach.
Apart from the outreach,
as in the pitches,
the inclusiveness of the people.
Yeah.
Because I well remember this. It was an investor who was looking to set up establishment in St. Kitts, and he came here. This was many years ago, and he came here dead of night, and he said that someone, just an ordinary citizen, invited him to his home for dinner, because those days it was American Eagle coming in late, to his home for dinner. And just the other day he called me because he did establish the plan, and he said one of his long-lasting memories about the island is that, I mean, who does that? It's ordinary people. It's ordinary people. It's not the big shot marketers or politicians or whoever, CEOs of tourism authorities and so on, who go out and market the place. It's what ordinary people can do that give you those kinds of lasting memories that make you want to come back.
Yes.
You know, and so you can, as you said, town halls, whether it's town halls or whatever else, need to be done to make sure that people are involved in this thing. But
and also,
we got to improve our
and
plan.
then also, this is another thing I've been thinking about for years. We have Kim Collins. Why aren't we building out those sports tourism? What happened to the triathlon we used to have? What happened to the road runs we used to have? We used to have an international half marathon. All of these things bring in people. All of these things have fans and media networks that carry them. I just don't understand why.
Yeah, we tend to get complacent. I think that's the problem. I heard
we should have a Kim Collins Invitational every year. We get to see all the big shots. Sha'Carri, Richardson,
whatever name recognition we got.
Yes.
I heard Premier Brantley say he was he was rebutting what I think it was the opposition saying that in all his, whether it's 13 or 14 years, whatever it is, of being in charge of Nevis, he hasn't bought in one new hotel, right? And his rejoinder was that, well, I'm more concerned with making sure the hotels that we have here are filled, which sounds nice, but really and truly you should be doing both, okay? Because one major hotel chain cannot do it, right?
Yeah.
So you got to. My point is you got to stop being so complacent.
Yeah.
Because it's one sure thing. Sure, you can attract the airlift, but if it doesn't do well, they're going to pull back out.
Exactly.
And how to make sure you get those passenger seats filled is to make sure you have good attractions, a nice, clean place. More. Okay, we're not good. We're not the best island for beaches. We're not best known for our beaches. But have some package deals whereby they can fly for a day or two to a neighboring island like St. Martin, or Anguilla, which have better beaches. There's no reason why that can't be done.
True.
Okay? People use here as a base.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, Yeah.
I agree.
So,
Can you
Mr.
talk about that?
Yes.
We have a segment coming up now. So no, great. No, we love your weigh-ins. Don't feel no way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're safe.
We got TDC now, but thank you so much for calling and thank you for weighing in. So much, so much meat. I must say, you have a very, fruitful discussion when.
All the time.
So it's really good. So we have TDC here with us.
Dominic. What's up, Dominic?
Yeah.
I'm good, thanks. I brought my
Yeah.
own cup. I brought my own
He
tea.
brought his own cup and tea. I don't know what he's
And didn't
saying.
bring any for us.
No, that's because you
Yeah.
guys never share. So, the numerous times that I've been
Coming here, gloating,
Yeah.
gloating.
The
in your
numerous
TDC
times that
your
I've been
TDC
here.
mug.
Yeah.
The numerous times that I've
And
been
it's
here.
such a nice mug
You
too.
know,
You know,
numerous
it's such a
times
nice
that
cup.
I've been
I thought
here
the man
that-
bought 4 mugs.
Hey,
a
Jan
treat.
said you're not in here. His tea smells so good. You know, it's lighting
Just
up the
sticking-
atmosphere.
I'm just sticking with the theme. Island tea.
Is it lemongrass? And
It's a mixture of lemongrass and some other. It's a special blend, I was
okay,
told.
where you got it from? Home?
No, actually, it was given to me this morning. I told the person I was coming to Island Tea, and
Yeah,
Oh.
it
I
has
need a
a-
cup. I need a cup of tea to go with.
Future wife.
It has a nice
A
smell
former
to it.
classmate.
So tell us, Dominic, tell us what is going on with TDC and what is it that we need to know?
We have a lot going on.
Mhm.
I gather by now that you guys recognize that it's our 50th. If you
Yes,
haven't heard,
yes.
Yeah, of
We
course.
actually
Yeah,
started
that we
off
know. That much we
with
know.
I want to say the general.
The CEO. Remember
The
we had
CEO.
Yes, you did. Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
we
Mr.
had-
Mr. Earl Kelly, our
Yes.
chairman and CEO. Yes,
Yes.
He
I
came.
wasn't-
He came here.
Yeah,
right.
I wasn't too sure the title. I know it was one of those.
Well, both of them are his.
Okay, yes.
He
So-
actually came here. And He would
Yes.
have been here on TDC Day in July, I think. Right.
Yeah.
So we have a lot going on.
Yes.
It's still our 50th anniversary, but for the month of October, it's a packed month, and you guys know that. It's a whole bunch of things happening nationally, but it's a whole bunch of things happening at TDC as well.
Awesome.
And I'd like to start off by saying that our TDC home and building depots are going pink. If you happen to pass by the building in the month of October, you'll see the building in the night lit in pink. And we're showing our corporate solidarity to the National Cancer Awareness. Of course, you know, this is another month for breast cancer awareness, and we're playing our part in doing that. So what we've done is we've done 2 things. We're offering our customers and clients up to 75% off selected items, up to 75% on selected items across the entire store. So everything in store, in each product category, there's some special in there that's up to 75%. But we've gone a step further. Every Saturday in the month of October, it's Solidarity Saturday for us, and we're doing free in-house screening. We've partnered with a number of health professionals, and they'll be in-house in our pink room, which is a pink confidential space that we've created in our store, and the health professionals will be doing screening for free for males and females. And for those persons who are screened, they get a chance to win a free mammogram. If you know anything about mammograms, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
So we're giving our customers and clients a chance to save,
Wow.
get screened, and a chance to win a free mammogram at our home and building depots.
The screening, just give us what would be tested.
Basically, the health professionals will be in to tell you how to screen your breasts for any abnormalities, male and female.
And
right?
then they will do screenings.
And then
as
they
well.
will do the screenings as well. If you need to be referred, which we've done in the past, we will make those referrals. And I can tell you, we are very proud to be doing this again. We've done this annually for like maybe since 2012. So it's almost 10, 12
I didn't
years,
know
right?
this, yeah.
We've been doing this, and we have managed to save some lives, right? So this is our way of supporting the national cause while doing it from a corporate standpoint.
Wow.
So we are encouraging your listeners, our customers and clients to think pink. Think TDC Home and Building Depots in the month of October.
I like that. Think pink.
Think pink, think pink, think pink.
You know, it's like, because you realize that the coin is usually think big.
Think
But
pink.
but the thing
Think
is,
pink.
yeah.
Right,
is
good
it-
going pink. So maybe next time you see me, I'll be wearing a pink shirt if I do return in October.
Okay.
We have one of these sessions. Now, at our home and building depots, that's for that. St. Kitts and Nevis, we want those persons to know. I didn't give the time, so I'd like to give the time. It's from 10 to 12. Of course, if you come a little earlier, we may be prepared in that respect. We would be extending the time as well if there are persons waiting. We want to make sure that those persons who are there, we want to get them screened as well, because this is part of our, again, corporate responsibility when it comes to breast cancer awareness and playing our part in the fight and supporting those survivors as well.
Awesome. Sounds really good. Go ahead.
So we move to our City Drugstore Nevis. We're going to go back and forth across the retail stores.
No one federation.
Yeah, retail stores. So we're giving this is the elderly month as well, month of the elderly.
is.
I was told not to say month of the elderly, it was to say senior citizens month, right? So it is senior citizens month, and for those persons who are over 60, once they make a purchase at our City Drugstore Nevis Limited, they get a chance to enter a raffle to win a prize at the end of October. So we're celebrating our seniors as well in that regard.
Sounds good.
All right, let me make sure I got a long list. 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 So we're supporting the elderly. Now, since we're on the elderly, this is a plug for Home and Building Depot as well.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know, but our Home and Building Depots and City Drugstore Nevis Limited, we carry products for the elderly. You knew that?
Mm-hmm.
You knew we carry walkers and recliners and commode risers and grab bars and so on?
No, I didn't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I mean, I never thought about it like that, but if I had to think about it, I think you probably would.
Yes, we do. So for those persons who didn't know that, we carry those products. We do carry those products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's wheelchairs and so forth. Yes, we do.
I always assume people bought that stuff overseas.
No. We do that right here.
I could imagine wheelchairs.
Yeah, wheelchairs. Yeah. We do it. We do commode risers.
I remember they
grab
have
bars
the last time he was here and talking about his website, the website for TDC.
Right. Yeah.
He had the workout equipment, so that could fall into like exercise,
health and wellness.
Yes. Actually, I was planning to. You know, if they got any more of those dumbbells,
I'll check for you.
Okay.
But we do sell those elderly care products.
Okay.
It's not just a.
And the website is
a
still active.
bedpan thing, sorry.
And the website is still active.
That is correct. You can shop online as well. But I just want to give a plug for those persons who didn't know that we sell elderly care products.
Let's say Shop TDC. Give the website.
ShopTDCgroup.com.
ShopTDCgroup.
Right. And those savings from the retail stores, they're online as well.
Okay.
So we touch City Drugstore, we touch Home and Building Depot, we're sticking with Home and Building Depot.
And you guys also have a rewards program.
I'm coming to that. I want to save that for last, but I'll save that for last. It's yesterday was International Teachers Day, right?
I did not know that.
Yes, it was. And we have tech tools for teachers. We have tablets, we have laptops, we have desktops, we have Bluetooth speakers, we have Bluetooth headphones. We do have tech tools for teachers. So for teachers who are looking to enhance their experience in the classroom, we have those tools for them as well.
Okay.
So you can go to our TDC Home and Building Depot or City Drugstore Nevis or shoptdcgroup.com and you can get those tech tools for teachers. It's also Financial Information Month. Wow, what a packed month. Wow. Ticking off as we go.
October.
October. Ticking off the months.
It is all of those things.
So it's Financial Information Month. And I don't know if you guys know that TDC Financial Services has a package called the Accumulator.
Yes.
Yes, it's a savings plan that brings many rewards. So we're promoting our savings plans. We have fixed deposits, we have the Accumulator, we have the Investor Starter Plan, and for the little ones, we have CHIP. Jamster, you got little ones. Have you signed up for a CHIP account?
A CHIP. What is a CHIP? Child something?
It's a child investment plan.
Okay.
Where you can start saving for your child very early, and by the time they get to 16, you reap those financial rewards that you've been putting aside for them.
Sort of like a trust fund by another name.
That is correct. Okay. So we've thought of that as well. So for those persons who want to make sure, well, I can't afford this and I can't afford that at university stage or CFBC stage, we've thought about it for you.
What's the interest rate at TDC Finance?
That has a special interest rate.
Okay.
Right? That has a special interest rate because of the length and of the program. So I'll be sure to get that for you. And for those persons who are listening, I'll be sure to bring it along next time. We also have, at TDC Financial Services, I mentioned our fixed deposits, and we have an investment starter plan. So if you want to save towards a particular goal within, let's say, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, we are here to help you meet that financial goal that you want to put with our investment starter plan. So we've thought of that as well. Looking down my list, I know it's a big list, right? It's a big list. I don't want persons to forget our copy and print center. We still have our copy and print center for those persons who are having events. We do printing for those persons who want to scan documents, bind documents, collate documents. We also do design and print. Yeah, we do design and print. You have a concept file logo, you have a concept file letterhead. We do design and print. And we are now located, for those persons who might not have known, in the TDC Mall on 4th Street. So we have a team there who are willing to do that. Some persons might have thought it was on Central Street. It's now in the TDC Mall on 4th Street for those persons who are looking. Our automotive division. No, we don't have a pink vehicle. I know you're watching the Jamster. We don't have a pink vehicle. We don't have a pink vehicle, but our vehicle of the month is the Suzuki Grand Vitara, and I would like you two guys to test drive it and tell us about your experience. You can test drive it for free, and you tell us about your experience. And while you're there,
Well, test drives are always free.
yeah. I'm glad you're paying attention. I'm glad you're paying attention. I'm just making sure you're paying. I know you haven't had your tea like I have. Making sure you're paying. Oh, you have. Oh, you just don't have a cup. I'm so sorry. So while you're there, you can get up to 75% off selected genuine parts. So if you know your vehicle need a tip up and so on, we're giving you an opportunity to save as well. And if you need tires, we got tires. We got up to 25% off selected tires. And of course, if you need some extra bling, we have new accessories. And of course, these are good while stocks last.
Oh, cool.
Right? We're in the heart of hurricane season. And I hope, Jamster, that you've made sure that your insurance policy is up to date and everything. So for those persons who are wondering, how can I save more? You can bundle and save with TDC Insurance. And you put your two packages together, your property and your vehicle, and you pay one fixed price, and you get the extra savings. So, Jamster, you mentioned our Mega Reward Card program. Do you have a Mega Reward Card
I think
account
I
with
have.
us?
Yeah, I think
You have,
I think
you have
I
one
do.
with us, right, Azard?
The account, right?
Right.
Yeah, I have an account.
Have you been using it?
I usually just, I think in September.
Okay. Did you know, both of you and our listeners, that if you spend $250 at any TDC retail store or at shoptdcgroup.com, you qualify for a chance to win $10,000?
Okay, I think I spent up to that the last time.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
At the end of the
September
year?
persons too?
No, that's happening now. We
Also-
started in June.
Okay.
We started in June.
So
We've
how-
had 2 winners already, and we're on the verge of announcing our 3rd winner.
Interesting.
$10,000 up until November. You spend $250 at any TDC retail store. That's our home and building depots, automotive divisions, City Drugstore, Nevis, and you automatically qualify. You didn't win this month, your entry rolls over into the next one, so that gives you another chance to win again.
So,
Okay,
so
that's
it's like
interesting.
And for
20%.
those persons who are wondering how to sign up for our Mega Reward Card program, you go to any TDC retail store, you can fill a form, or you can go to TDC Group Limited, and you could fill the form from there as well. So we've had 2 persons who've taken home $10,000 just for spending $250.
Really?
Yes. And in the next couple of days, we'll be introducing our 3rd winner who spent $250 and won $10,000.
So December is like 25,000.
Well, the raffle actually ends. The raffle ends in November. It ends in November, July, August, September, October, November. That's $50,000 as part of our 50th anniversary,
Oh, nice.
Okay.
which we're
Okay.
celebrating under the theme "Your Neighbor, Your Partner, Your Future." So, for those persons who are listening and you want to get your chance, with all the savings that I've just mentioned, go to the stores, spend $250. Make sure that you're a Mega Reward account holder. If you don't have any, feel free to ask any of our cashiers or point of sale persons, and they would give you a form.
See,
you're free
Jamster,
to-
if you need to make purchases, you go to TDC because you could
that is where you go.
benefit. If you don't have an account though, you could always talk to me and I could do
I
the
have
purchase
one.
for you.
Actually, no. I could send you the QR code.
I think I actually still get TDC discounts. So
You could get QR code. You
I
get
actually
QR
get
code.
discounts, but usually if it's someone who knows me,
Oh, you
a lot of times I don't remember, but then usually when somebody says like Glenn, whatever.
But this is your chance to get 10,000 for Jamster.
Yeah, Jamster, you
Make
go
sure you
for
spend
it.
it.
You go for
You
it.
too. You too.
I
You
spent,
too.
I think as I said before,
You too.
I'm sure I spent up to that last month. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed. The draw is going to be there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have October and we have November, so we have 2 draws left. And of course, it's an opportunity for you to get yourself some extra cash.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to make an announcement that going forward, we will be making some adjustments, some positive adjustments to the program. So in a couple of weeks that we have left for the year, a couple of months we have left, I'll be back to tell the public how they too, as Mega Reward card holders, can benefit from a few other incentives that we're adding to the program apart from the Mega Raffle. So we'll be
Okay.
doing 1 or 2 tweaks as well. We want to make sure that, the tagline is loyalty has its privileges. We want to make sure that we maintain that because we
Okay.
value the relationship we have with our customers and clients.
Okay,
And this is
good.
just one we want to give back to them for their patronage.
Okay.
Awesome.
TDC turning 50, and
We are
it's-
50.
It's
They
sweet.
are 50.
We are
Yeah,
50.
We are 50.
We are
Yeah, you are
50.
50.
We are 50.
Okay. So when are you due back with us?
Probably by the middle of the month, I'll be back to give you an
Okay,
update on
good.
our pink activities, so that your customers and clients, our customers and clients, and your listeners would know exactly what we're doing, how we're doing, and how they too can benefit.
Okay.
Of course, we'll be announcing the winner for the raffle, the mega raffle, 50K mega raffle coming up as well. We'll be announcing that, and probably might be sharing some of the stories of how they felt about winning. So, as well as to bring you some of the other exciting things that are happening for the
Okay.
month of November.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Thank you so much, Dominic.
You're welcome.
TDC's excellent
Gonna have
marketing
my
guru,
No, just the team. man.
Dominic.
Just
And
the
he's,
team man.
he's
today.
marketing our show too. You see, he brought his own
I know,
tea.
he brought his tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have my financial services
There
company.
you go.
I came prepared.
You have one for each department?
No, I don't. It's financial information. Man. Who knows? Next time I might bring a pink one.
You need to bring some for us, though. Seriously. Yeah.
No problem.
Okay. Dominic, always fun.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
Yes.
great.
Have a good day, Dominic.
You too, thanks.
Yeah. Be blessed.
9:33. We
Yes.
got
Happy shopping.
yes. We have the newly crowned, newly appointed Deputy Chief Fire Officer coming up on Fireproof. Officer Martin. Yes,
Yes,
that's him.
yes, yes.
Found the sound 98.9. Win FM.
On the clothes and me looking well dapper. Stepping out tonight with Ramona and Sasha. Run to the fridge for me secret trick. 2 buckle of Magnum, now everything's set. You don't know one girl can't manage me when me under me Magnum all 2 or 3. Mickey a buckle to me granddaddy, cause later on tonight he might expect a lady. You want the energy for do the things that you do. Drop with the Magnum with the figure 10 glue. Ladies, give you the vibe, big mouth with and all them on them. Yeah, that's strong extra lift. Magnum tonic wine, energy when you need it.
Like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/ramsupermarket. Follow us on Twitter, www.twitter.com/ramsupermarket. And subscribe to us on YouTube, www.youtube.com/ramsupermarket.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. We want your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
Line 36. We got Fireproof coming up here on Island T. Little noise cans in the meantime. The sound of Bermuda. That's our noise cans. He's a Bermudan DJ. Featuring Elephant Man. And it's time for Fireproof. And we've got the newly appointed DCFO, Deputy Chief Fire Officer, Officer Martin. Yes, our very own Officer Martin.
And you know, Romel who also was a part of Fireproof here, is the chief. So we had, we all this time we've been talking to these fire officers, and while talking to them, they've been appointed and promoted.
We're talking to these fire officers on the ascendancy.
Yeah. It comes to me that hopefully they don't forget us, Jamster.
I know. Maybe we're next. We're gonna be promoted to some big job next. You never know.
We're gonna breathe it in. So, Officer Martin, what's the topic for today? What are we going to focus on for Fireproof?
All right. So, good morning. Good morning to you, Azard. Good morning to you, Jamster. Good morning, the listening audience. Today we want to touch on a few things, but mainly surrounding the Fire Prevention Week. October is deemed the Fire Prevention Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So within that month, there is a week of acknowledgement to the preparation of fire safety.
Mm-hmm.
So this week came about because of a tragedy that took place in Chicago. That was dubbed the Great Fire of Chicago in 1871, where the great number of buildings, the city of Chicago, was wiped out due to a large fire taking place. So coming out of that, hence the birth of Fire Prevention Week. So we just like to, share some tips to the Federation regarding, fire safety. So fire emergency responses should be considered in the home and also in the business places. So we encourage persons to ensure that they have a fire emergency plan, and that is key. Fire emergency plan, they should also think about what the building occupants might need to know.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take into consideration too all occupants, whether it be the business place or the business place or the residents. You should have knowledge about your emergency plan. So from the greatest to the least within a structure should know what the dynamics of the emergency plan are. So if it's a workplace, from the manager come right down to persons who the male persons. When I say male persons, persons delivering mails, etc.
Everyone is
supposed to know what is in the emergency plan. And there are certain questions that we feel that persons should know. They should at least seek to get the answer to. And some of these questions is like, what is a hazard?
Mm-hmm.
As simple as you see it. What is a hazard? So a hazard is a material or substance acting in the increase the likelihood of an actual fire occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Another question, or maybe I could just run through the questions and then we just look at them a little bit more in depth. Maybe we could do it that way. So can you identify some fire hazards? This is one question that person should. So it's not just knowing what is a fire hazard, but can you identify some of these fire hazards?
Mm-hmm.
And when should I evacuate a building? We are the emergency exits. We are the fire extinguishers. Do we have smoke detectors? Is there a fire evacuation plan in place? And are the occupants familiar with it? So those are the questions that we want to highlight this morning. So just getting a backtrack now. So we looked at the fire hazard. What is a fire hazard? Can you identify some fire hazards? So I'm throwing it out there to you right now, Azard. Can you think off the top of your head, what are some fire hazards that you could?
You mean in this building, or you mean generally?
Or in general.
In general.
Sorry to put you on the spot. But
Okay, I would think off the bat, I would think about anything that's flammable. I would think about sprays, those sort of things that we that we use often, but
Right.
could be used, but it's highly flammable.
Good, nice.
Mhm.
So for you mentioned about sprays, BAP, for example,
Yeah.
or
That was
insecticide.
that actually came to my mind.
Right. So person should know if you have the stove lit, never to spray BAP or any kind of insecticide around an open flame. That could be that could cause a fire. Looking at your electrical wires, make sure that the wires are not frayed. Electrical sockets, make sure that they're intact, the covers are in place, the wires are not exposed. Then you could look at, faulty appliances. If an appliance is giving you any kind of problems, make sure to get it checked out by a qualified electrician. The final straw might be to discard of it and get a new appliance. Persons who what we can, they might have a hobby, which is collecting items. Some of these items you collect, you may not even use, but it end up boils down to you becoming a hoarder, so to speak. So your house is filled with a lot of things that are not useful to you on a day-to-day basis. So encouraging persons, look at situations like this. Don't just clutter your house with a lot of things. 'Cause all these materials that you buy, you store, they are indeed flammable.
What I'm thinking about when we talk about clutter, perhaps, clothing. Sometimes we often have a lot of clothes and they're just, there. And so, in case of a fire, that's something that's extremely flammable.
I see you smiling, so it seems like you have a lot of clothes in excess that just
I need to
get rid of some.
clothes.
All right,
Yes.
so another point to the question: when should I evacuate a building? So that should be done right away. From the first annunciation of an emergency, you should evacuate right away. We have come across instances where persons might be in the workplace, they have a fully functional alarm system that is going off, and persons tend to stay within the office still trying to finish up work, etc. We have come across situations like that. So we're encouraging persons from the first sign of alarm, no matter what you are doing, put away whatever you're doing and get out the door in a timely manner. All right? It could only mean saving your life. Okay? So don't wait. This slogan isn't directed for fire safety. It has another. It is aligned with another type of disaster. I'm sure you would hear "don't wait, evacuate." But this can apply for a fire-related incident as well. Whenever you hear alarm, don't wait, just evacuate. All right, so where are the emergency exits? Now, persons tend to feel that an emergency exit...
when you say that, right, I'm thinking, when you're on the plane, they say emergency exits to the front or to the back, and the closest one could be right next to you.
Right.
And so I'm thinking that when you're inviting persons into your homes, you should say, well, the emergency exits are this way, that way, in case of a fire.
But strange enough that you say that though.
Yeah.
But especially for let's say you're conducting a seminar, for example, where you have a number of persons coming into a building. That's one of the things that you will need to highlight to them where the emergency exits are, so that they are aware. Yeah, so persons feel that the emergency exits are just doors. It's not just limited to doors. So a window, for example, can be an emergency exit. Now, you have to consider some buildings that do have burglar bars. And a burglar bar can be a hindrance. It has its good, but it also comes with a bit of a negative side to it, where it keeps the unwanted persons from getting into your premises. But when it comes to an emergency where you have to evacuate and the doors are not an option for you, it keeps you in.
Let me ask you a question.
That was something that happened too with the school in Guyana, because of the fire.
Talk about burglar bars, right?
Yeah. So you really have to be careful with those burglar bars.
That is indeed correct.
But my question was, do we have regulations on the books about, for example, public spaces having to have an emergency exit and so on?
Well, we're trying, as a fire department, let me speak as to fire department. We are trying to get some things in place. One being the act, we are trying to get a fire code, so to speak. So once we put that fire code in place, it would hold persons accountable for the necessities that they would need for their building.
Because when I was studying in Canada, and even when I went down to the States, you go to nightclubs and so, and the fire department could come and close it down because their thing is, okay, are you over capacity? Is the fire exit properly set up? Is it working and stuff like that? And they'll shut you down if you even one person over the amount.
Indeed.
And I remember I used to play at the club here. And I remember it came up. There used to be a club over Flex where Sugars is now, where the gym used to be.
Yeah.
There used to be a club up there, and I used to play up there. And I remember it used to come up sometime. Management used to talk about the fact that, it's kind of funny because there's not really a fire exit because it's just the one stairwell. And except they had a big window to the east. So when you were talking about the window, I was thinking about that club because I said actually technically maybe if there was a fire you could just open the window and go out. But the problem out there is that the roof is like this.
It's a slanted roof.
It's a slanted roof. But I was thinking about that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So so fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers. Now you should every building should have a fire extinguisher. That is very important. Fire extinguishers is your first line of defense in terms of extinguishing small fires in their incipient stage. So we would encourage persons to get a fire extinguisher. Not only getting a fire extinguisher, when you get that extinguisher, make sure that the extinguisher is visible. Put it in an area where persons, once they're traversing, they know that an extinguisher is there. Persons tend to hide extinguishers because it may not look good on the wall based on the different colors, etc. that they have within the building. But don't see a fire extinguisher as an eyesore. See it see it as a remembrance that is something important, and in case a fire breaks out, right away it can click to you that, hey, I know where a fire extinguisher is. I pass it on a daily basis. It's right here. All right. Then in terms of the evacuation plan, so the evacuation plan you should encompass everyone within the structure. So persons who are mobile, persons who have a challenge in terms of movement, consider the age of persons, the elderlies, for example, or even young infants. So you have to, your evacuation plan should be able to to have the dynamics of stretching, so to speak, to adapt to who the occupants within the building are.
Flexible enough in case, depending on, like, take for example, I remember one time I was doing a thought experiment home, right, when you were talking about the thing, and I was saying, well, if I have a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, and I was thinking, well, suppose there's a fire suppose there's a fire in the living room where I can't get to the kitchen, so I come out the hallway, but I can't get out. I'm trapped because so I said, so maybe there should be a fire extinguisher. But then I'm like, well, suppose I'm outside somewhere else. So I see what you mean. I can see where the flexibility thing. So you have to think about all these kinds of things, because the fire could be, because of the position of the fire, you might have to have flexibility in your plan so that
exactly
you can do, well, okay, I have to do this because the fire is over there, or
So you can always set up at least 2 fire extinguishers for your home if it's a single dwelling structure, single story rather, one in the front and one in the back. So in the event of anything, you have 2 possibilities of reaching an extinguisher. For a building with multiple stories, then you make sure to have an extinguisher on each floor as well. Right. So that would help in arresting any small fires rather quickly. Now, when it comes to your plan, you should always make sure to highlight your emergency exits. So over each exit, it doesn't have to be exactly the exit. You can place it in a hallway with an arrow, a directional arrow pointing whether left, right, for you to indicate that, hey, if you go to the left or to the right, there is an emergency exit right there. So place them over the exits, specifically over exits, and also you could place them in hallways leading to an exit with an arrow pointing to the exit. All right. We spoke about, designated emergency exit routes, so you know that you should, the routes to take to get out of a building. You should know once you get out of the building, you have a designated meeting area. So all occupants of that building would go directly there and not wander around. So it also brings accountability. Persons, you actually knowing how much persons are there. If persons are missing from the from the meeting place, and you know they were at work, then you could get a bit more worried in terms of, hey, I wonder if this person is inside of the building still, inside of the structure. What we encourage persons to do, especially for our workplace, if you have to leave the workplace for any reason to conduct any business in town, let somebody know that you stepped out. Equally important, when you get back, let that person know that you are back. So in the event of anything happening, they know exactly, hey, this person said they went out, but I did not see them. So chances are they're in town still. Or this person told me they're gone out, but that person has already gotten back on the job and did not say anything. So when that person might end up become trapped in the building, you're thinking that person is in town still. So it's important to, even though we are all adults and we have our separate movements and so, it's important to let somebody know, hey, I stepped out, or hey, I come back.
A question. I know, especially those those facilities built by North Americans and Europeans, and so like Marriott. I know some of them have this system where you have the fire alarm and you have the an axe with glass an axe, and then sometimes you actually have an emergency hose and water feed to thing. How practical and how expensive would that be for, let's say, if some businesses wanted to? What do you think is best? You think it's more cost effective to have just fire extinguishers strategically placed, or have a system like that?
Well, in any additional features that you put into the whole framework, the cost will go up, of course. So for someone who has extinguishers, but then they want to put in a fire station, and we call those with the hose reel, etc. We call them fire stations. So if they want to put in the fire station, that is an additional cost. However, that business place, the enterprise, they have to weigh the balance. Is it worth putting in this extra cost into the building in order to arrest the fire quicker than waiting for, let's say, us to come? Because remember, we have to come from off-site, all right? We have to take in consideration traffic as well, if we are on another call, etc. So anything that you can do to assist yourself until we come is always a plus for you, whether the homeowner or the business place.
Sprinkler systems, are they expensive? Oh, no, not expensive. Are they effective? That's what I really wanted to ask.
Sprinkler systems are effective. You can have sprinkler systems, throughout a whole building. You can do it in sections.
Yes.
So it depends on where the fire is. Just that section is activated.
So localized activation.
Right. So instead of the whole building being drenched with water, then that could be a even further challenge. But once the room that the fire is located in, that those sprinklers can be activated, a system like that could work wonders.
How effective is the sprinkle systems though? And I could imagine that different systems will have different pressure. But based on your experience, with homes that on fire, you find that we build with sprinkler system here?
It's more business thing, I think, though.
Just certain institutions would have in sprinkler systems, not necessarily your home.
You ever had a situation where it is that you had to go to a scene and there was a sprinkler system in place?
Activated, you mean?
Yeah.
Never had one activated.
Wow.
But I know a couple of businesses, couple of places that have sprinkler systems within the structure, the framework.
I was just
also, you've never had a call where
I've never.
That's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how.
I always wondered how they work. Yeah, because like you're thinking you have this big raging fire and the sprinkler looks so
tiny up there.
And whether or not they actually, when they come, it was of assistance.
But studies would have been done regarding sprinkler systems, and the studies have proven that they're rather helpful within a fire. There are persons who that's all they do, go and run simulation exercises as to how effective these things are.
Because one of the things I've always thought, even as a kid watching the fire department fight fires, I've always thought that, man, even if something was salvageable in this house, just the water pressure from that hose seems to maybe do as much damage as the fire. So,
go ahead, finish.
No, so I always wondered, has that kind of thing has it evolved where maybe the water pressure isn't as destructive as a fire? Because I've always looked at the stream and I was like, that's pretty. I know these hoses can lift people up,
Yeah, so the pressure that comes out of those hoses is very intense, right? Now, on the nozzle, you can actually...
sort of like the garden hose,
right.
you adjust.
So you can adjust the nozzle to prevent that volume of water coming out. When we go to fires, especially if the scene might become a potential crime scene, we try not to destroy evidence, etc. So we are trained in terms of using the water. It shouldn't be that forceful. Once the fire becomes under manageable, we don't put the amount of pressure to further erode any evidence that might be left, etc.
Okay. Okay, well, man, that was, see, it's 10:02 and pretty interesting stuff. And this, folks, just in case you didn't catch it, our newly appointed Deputy Chief Fire Officer, he's blushing.
Yes, congratulations.
Timothy
to
Martin.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but- and I wish you all the best with your new position and so on. I hope we can see you still,
Of course.
Okay,
of course,
good. All
of
right.
course.
Okay.
So I guess I want to wish everyone a wonderful day and also an enjoyable weekend. Stay safe, guys. All things going well. We'll join you back on Monday with another edition of Island Tea.
And the usual fire-free week.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. Probably the fires will they'll get scared into good behavior now that he's the deputy fire chief, right?
Like they should,
Okay, guys, everyone have a great weekend.
Awesome.
That's it for Island Tea. That's it for Fireproof. We'll be back on Monday, and Fireproof returns next Friday.
Same time, same place.
Get the drive with Lucasade Energy. Buy Lucasade and enter for a chance to win the grand prize of a Toyota Hilux. Plus, win up to